to the Neil Malik account. Now, normally, when this gets sent out, I'm going to see it in my inbox, but I need to realize at some point or another that if I'm working together with these clients, Michelle and Eric, who are at the gmx.com company that I'm dealing with, that I probably want to automatically handle all emails that come in from Michelle and Eric in a specific way. So there are a few things that we can do here with these emails that come in from our specific client. The first is that we can categorize. So in Outlook, I'd highly recommend you using the Categorize drop-down menu, going to All Categories down at the bottom of Categorize, and figuring out a color that works for Eric and for Michelle. So let's say with GMX here, I'm going to go with the orange category. I simply choose the category I want here, hit Rename. Maybe I'll call this GMX Acrobat Project, and click OK. Now, if I get an email from Eric that is about the GMX Acrobat product, I'll probably want to go to Categorize and assign it this way. Or if I click on this email from Eric here, I right-click on it and choose Categorize. I can categorize this as the GMX Acrobat project here. But what happens when other people from gmx.com send me emails? And I want to do this in as automatic a way as possible. If I go to my Rules drop-down menu up here at the top of the screen and click on to Manage Rules and Alerts, I can automatically create a rule that detects who the email is from. So here, when I click on New Rule, I click on Apply Rule on Messages I Receive, click on Next, and then most people would go for the checkbox that says People or Public Group right up here at the top, and they'd put in Eric and Michelle's email addresses. But because I don't want to be held down to just Eric and Michelle being my project contact people, what I'm going to do instead is go to the specific words in the sender's address right down here at the bottom. When I click the checkbox for specific words in the sender's address, I can click on the link right here for specific words, and I can put in gmx.com. And this allows me to say if Eric or Michelle or anybody else at their company sends me an email, I'll know that it's about a particular thing. Then I click OK. Now, if I want to go a step further from that, I can also say that all the emails from gmx.com that mention Adobe Acrobat, perhaps, or mention training or those sorts of things might be the only thing that gets categorized. So I'll go to specific words in the subject or body right here. Click the checkbox for that, and then click on specific words. And I can feed this words like Acrobat, like class, or course, or videos, or ebook. You get the picture from there. I can click OK. And if any of those terms come from anybody at gmx.com, I know what I'm looking for. Oh, people always just call it Adobe. I'm just going to put Adobe in there because it just drives me crazy. Everybody just calls it Adobe, and Adobe makes like 47 different programs. Okay, so if they mention Adobe or Acrobat or class or course or videos or ebook, I'll know that they're talking about our project. Click Next. And then you can see here, assign it a specific category, that checkbox for assign it a category. I can then click on Category right down here at the bottom and assign it the GMX Acrobat Project category. Click OK. Click Next, and this next one is about exceptions. So if there were any types of emails that wouldn't automatically get categorized, we could go ahead and click that checkbox. One thing that we can put in here is accept if it is an automatic reply. So this is one of those things that, somebody goes on vacation and they send me back that bounce back. I don't need to categorize that email. So that might be something that fits under the qualification of automatic reply and something that doesn't get categorized. All right. So then I click Next. I'll go ahead and label this rule as Acrobat course for GMX. And notice that if there were any emails already in the inbox that fit this criteria, by clicking the checkbox Run this rule on messages already in the inbox, I can automatically grab those and categorize them as well. So I'll click on that checkbox, click Finish, and click OK. And now, as soon as Michelle sends an email, let's see here. There we go. And says something like, can we talk next week? And then we say something like, hi, Neil. I have some users who are interested in talking with you about the Acrobat course. Do you have some time Tuesday or Wednesday? Okay, so I'll click Send there. This email gets sent out from somebody at gmx.com. And as you can see, when it pops in here, because it's from gmx.com and because it mentions an Acrobat course, anytime now, there it is. Ah, good. And it automatically gets the little orange chip right here. So that's nice. Another thing that we can do, besides assigning this a category, is we can also color code based off of the project in question. So, for example, we can go up here to the View tab at the top of the screen. On the View tab, we can click on the Change View drop-down menu and click on to Manage Views. By going to Manage Views, and let me actually get rid of this old one there. By going to Change View to Manage Views right there, we have the ability to take whatever the current view is, make a duplicate of it, and then sort of play with it, make it customized to what we like. So I'm going to take the current view settings here, click on to Copy, and make a copy called Color Coded by Project, and then hit OK. And notice that when I create this new view, I can sort things in this view, I can filter things in this view, I can group them together, but really what we're talking about here is being able to highlight things that are important to me. So I can click on to Conditional Formatting, and conditional formatting is about changing the color of something or other aesthetics about this thing based off of its qualities. So notice here that conditional formatting is already doing things for email that hasn't been read yet or email that's expired, etc. When I click Add here on the right, I can call this one GMX Acrobat, for example. Go to my fonts, and if I was already using orange, let's go ahead and choose semi-bold and the color orange. Let's see here. Oh, orange actually doesn't even qualify. All right, let's go with maroon. That'll be good. However, this aesthetic by itself doesn't really do anything for me because I haven't told it how to identify these emails. So I can go to Condition right here, and on Condition I can search for certain words in the subject or the body, maybe Acrobat, for example. Or I can say if it's from a specific person, or under the More choices, maybe if it's been categorized. Anything that's been categorized as GMX Acrobat project, maybe that highlights for me. Click OK there. Or if you're really interested in doing a good job with this, go to the Advanced tab, and you'll find that every single field about this email is at your disposal. So for example here, I can go to the Field drop-down menu. I can then go to my Mail fields, and I can say, okay, if it's from And if from contains gmx.com, and then click Add to List. Or under Field, if I go to All Mail Fields, maybe if the body